shiny happy peeps, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be interviewing my fiance Jared Enderton. A lot of you probably have no idea who he is. Well, back in 2018, he committed a murder.
I was committed to the CrossFit Games.
Yeah, he committed himself to the CrossFit Games. Back in 2018, he competed at the CrossFit Games, and he's also an online weightlifting coach. So basically...
And really good looking, yes.
And fairly good looking.
Fairly.
Okay. And we're basically just going to be asking him some questions about how we first met. So he can tell me his story, how we first met, and then I'll tell him the story of actually how we first met, and his kind of like beginnings in the CrossFit and how he decided to start doing CrossFit. Jared, can you give me a little bit of your background before you started CrossFit? Just a little bit of your athletic background.
You're making this like formal. You said Jared. You said so Jared. This is a formal interview.
Yeah. So Jared.
Wow.
Before, I don't want to hear like the whole story of your life. Just give me your like athletic background before you started CrossFit.
So when I was 4 years old, No. I moved out to Colorado to weightlifting at the Olympic Training Center in 2013, February, and then later that year had a hip surgery and was looking for somewhere to train, and I was coaching at CrossFit Pandora's Box.
My gym?
Yep, Thursdays and Sundays, and I was coaching a couple other gyms in the Springs as well, and I just needed somewhere to train after hip surgery, so I brought my, that was the gym that would allow me to bring my barbell and plates in to train. So I would start training there a lot, whenever I could, to try to get back in shape, to get back to the Olympic Training Center. And so this isn't how I started CrossFit, but that's how I met you, so I guess I'm starting there. But so I started training there a lot because I needed to get back in shape to go back to the Olympic Training Center. So I was coaching Thursdays and Sundays, making like, $20, $25 a class or something, just anything I could do on the side to supplement my weightlifting just to get by I was doing. Trained there long enough, ended up seducing the boss as I trained there.
Yeah.
And here we are. It's 2020. So that was 2013, seduced the boss, and that's how we met.
Do you remember the first day we met?
First day?
Do you remember the first day? You don't remember?
Yeah, I do. Okay. I came in for like a sort of a formal interview at the gym. Not an interview.
Yeah, except nobody asked you to come in. You just
you showed up.
Yeah, you showed up.
Yeah. If you want something in life, you go get it. So I was looking at CrossFit gyms to coach at in a weightlifting class in Colorado Springs. So I would email them, I would call them, and if I didn't think they replied fast enough or at all within a day or two, I just showed up and would just try to sell my way into coaching so I could make a couple bucks to try to support my weightlifting career at the Olympic Training Center. That's what you do. If you want stuff, if you want shit, you go get it.
Do you remember what I said my first impression of you was?
Yeah, I was cocky.
Cocky, yeah.
I was cocky, yeah. Because you already had a weightlifting coach.
I already had a weightlifting coach. I kept saying, I don't need another weightlifting coach.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but I don't need another weightlifting coach. You already have one. And I was like, who is this guy thinking he's going to come in here when we already have a weightlifting coach? And da-da-da. So that was day one. So.
Yeah, I got off on a good foot.
Yeah.
I don't think I was cocky. I just was like, I just want to coach. So
yeah.
I'm going to tell you whatever, because I think I can help the people. I think I can help people improve their weightlifting. So I'm going to come in. I'm just going to show up at your gym and tell you I can help your people. And that's the end of the story. So
it happens that Jared was friends or roommates at our previous
longtime friends and former roommates
with our current weightlifting coach
at the time,
and he was leaving. Ian was leaving, so Jared was going to come in and take his place. So that's how he started at our gym, and then he had hip surgery, and that was his start into training more into the gym. Yeah. He seduced me.
He seduced me.
Kind of. Do you know the real story?
Yeah.
So the real story...
You came on to me.
So the real story is I had been wanting to date Jared, and I had been very aggressive? I don't know.
Not aggressive. You were putting, the signs were there.
Yeah, there were signs. I was putting all these signals towards him. I was like letting him know that I was interested, and I was getting nothing.
I picked up on 0.
Yeah, you didn't pick up on any of it.
Yeah.
And me and 2 of our really good friends all went out to eat together. And we were all done. I went back to my car. He went back to his car. And I'm like, is this idiot gonna like text me, or is he gonna message me or anything? And then I'm like, and then all of a sudden, I was like, I messaged him. Do you remember what I messaged
Yeah.
him? Yeah.
You said, you should ask me to hang out sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what did you say?
I said, okay. Or
No,
something.
you said, are you free tonight?
Yeah, are you free tonight? I don't remember what I said.
So that was like the first night we hung out like outside of the gym.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
But he wasn't CrossFitting yet.
No.
Okay. Do you remember your first CrossFit competition?
Yeah, I think I do remember my first CrossFit competition, and you're gonna think I'm off on this, but I do know which one it was.
Okay, let's see.
It was an individual competition.
No, it wasn't.
It was Conquer Denver.
That was an individual.
No.
This team's at 8.
10.
10. Team's at
Was
10.
it Conquer Denver?
Yes, Conquer
Like,
Denver.
early 2014. I had surgery like in June or July of 2013, and this was like February and March or March of 2014. It was teams of 10. Conquer Denver, the top 30 teams or something in Colorado, got invited to Conquer Denver. The top 20 or 30 teams in the open from their scores got invited, and they're like, look, there's probably gonna be some kind of heavy weightlifting. You should be on our team, because if there's a snatch, a clean and jerk, a squat, anything, like we can use you this and that.
Yeah, so with the team thing is some of the workouts you had to use your team, but then some of them you maybe pick 1 or 2 people off your team.
Yeah, so like for example, on Saturday, there was one of the events was you picked one person to do a weightlifting competition.
And it was a sanctioned USA.
A sanctioned USAW meet. So like 7 months after hip surgery, I snatched 145 at that meet, kilo, 319, clean and jerked 180 or 185 kilo, around 400 somewhere.
Yeah.
So like won that event for the team. But
Yeah.
the day before, and I'm still mad at her for this, it was 60, yeah, you remember this?
60 squat
Oh, man, 60 squat snatches at
135.
yeah, double Isabel, 135.95. And so she's like, yeah, let's start off. I'll do a lot of them. I know I can do this weight a lot, this and that. She starts off with like 3, and her feet are slipping so much she like misses the floor.
I had my weightlifting shoes. I think it was my weightlifting shoes.
Yeah.
They had like they were old as hell. They had no traction on it, and we were on this like, we weren't on mats.
It was slick.
It was like a slick floor, and I kept slipping. My feet were slipping and sliding everywhere, and yeah, I think you probably did 45 reps.
Yeah, so I did like at least 45 squats at 135, which
as
I
fast
never,
as I can.
as fast as you can, touch and go. And I hadn't done any conditioning whatsoever since high school wrestling, high school football, like 2007. So it would have been 7, 8 years of any conditioning. So I walk off, and like I get about 30 seconds away, and all of a sudden my quad sees up. I'm like yelling at her, like, I have rhabdo.
I thought he had rhabdo. He was walking like straight-legged. He couldn't like bend his legs. He was like
at the hotel that night. I'm like, I can't do the
so
weightlifting tomorrow. I can't do the weightlifting.
So funny.
Just for doing 45 snatch. I mean, it was fast, but yeah, it was a pretty fun first experience.
So, do you think after that first competition you were like sold on CrossFit, or when do you think you finally decided to make the switch to CrossFit?
Well, the hard part, like explaining where I've been in my journey, is like I've done weightlifting seminars at CrossFit gyms forever, since 2011. You know, and I've mostly trained my weightlifting career in CrossFit gyms. So like I've been aware of it. I knew what it was. I knew with my wrestling background, football, all this stuff, that like I maybe could be good at it. And it wasn't that competition that sold me on it. It was, I actually did the 2014 Open that year, but for the same reason. You said, hey,
Biscuit.
Come here. You said, hey, if we need a strong person, because if there's a heavy workout, ouch, God, she's got claws on her. If there's a heavy workout in the open, we can use your score. Did it in 2014, maybe used one of my scores, the deadlift box jump ones. 2015 comes up, it was the heavy clean and jerk in 15-1A. But I was still just weightlifting, and the rest of the workouts I just wouldn't care about, would just half-ass, and that was it. But it was actually during 15-2, after the workout, when I was like, hey, I actually think I could be pretty damn good at this, was the chest to bar overhead squat workouts. And I only could do singles on chest to bar because I didn't know how to butterfly.
Yeah.
Because I just was weightlifting.
So
I was doing singles, but the overhead squats, I was just crashing.
Crushing, yes.
Crashing, same thing. Crashing down on the bottom, crushing, whatever. And it was afterwards, I ended up with a pretty darn good score, like top couple hundred in the region or something, if I remember right. For not really training, maybe it wasn't top couple hundred, but it was a good score.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, if I actually did a little bit of conditioning, I think I could be good at this, because I remember going into that workout and I was like, yeah, if I get through the 12s, that'll be fun. But then once I got like through the 12s, the whole wrestler kicked in me, and that feeling of feeling good about pushing hard in conditioning, of training, of pushing yourself to the limit, I was like, no, I'm going as far as I possibly can, even though I had no business going that hard.
Yeah.
Because I laid on the ground for like 5 or 10 minutes. I tried to stand up and my quads cramped. So then I laid back down. 5 minutes later, I tried to get up. My quads cramped again. Like, I pushed myself way too hard, but it was the old former athlete. And after that, I remember thinking after that workout, laying on the ground as I did for about 30 minutes because I was so afraid of my quads, like, hey, if I actually did train this, you know, I have the skills, I have the weightlifting, I have the former wrestling background, with a lot of body weight control, things like that. If I actually trained it, I think I could be okay at it.
Mm-hmm. So that was kind of what really prompted you to really start in CrossFit.
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions. Do you have a favorite memory of our experience together during an open workout of us?
Oh, God.
Yeah, do you have one?
Well, my first couple years doing the open with you, you were like my yelling. I needed something to yell at, and you were it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's such a stressful experience because you go in on Friday, at least the first 2016 and 2017, especially 2016, I was a little better 2017. 2018, I thought I was good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Like, I was pretty stress-free, but I would say my favorite memory would have been 16-2.
Okay.
Do you remember that one?
Was that the cleans?
Yes.
Okay.
That was probably my favorite open memory anyway.
Yeah.
But on Friday...
Insert footage here.
Did you actually insert it, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm gonna insert the footage.
On Friday I had done it, and it was basically, you have 25 toe to bar, 13 cleans at 185, or 135, or 15 cleans 135, squat cleans. Or 25 toe to bar, 50 double under, 15 cleans 135. 25, 50, 11, or 13 cleans 185. 25, 50, 11 cleans 225. 9 cleans 275. So on Friday I had done it, and I think I only got like 3 or 4 cleans at 275. It was like, look, I need to get through the 275s in the region because I need like a top 10 finish. Going into that Monday, I'm like, I just need to sell out to get through the 275s. And I did 8. There's like 6 seconds left on the clock, or 7. I pull the clean for the 9th. I have it in the rack position and I fail it. I don't even look, I instantly pull the bar back into me, pull it again, smashed potatoes, coming up with 1 second left. I stand up, drop it. It's 15:59, and because then you had 4 more minutes to do with the 315 weight. And I remember I fell to the ground. It's like I just did Fran, and somebody's like, "Get up, you have more to do." And it's like, no, I don't.
Yeah, I was yelling at him, get up,
you have to get to the 315 bar.
Yeah.
And I laid on the ground for a full minute. A full minute. It was middle open. It was my first real open that I was doing, but I had completely sent every ounce of energy I had. I didn't end up getting through the total bar and the double unders, but I was so done.
Yeah.
But that was my favorite memory because I knew I needed it. It was a big deal. Looking back, I actually probably didn't absolutely need it, but at the time it was like, I need this clean. It was a pretty hype moment for sure.
Mm-hmm.
In the background, when I make it and stuff, you're just yelling, going crazy.
I always do.
I know, but your celebration.
I know.
And Rob was in the background going, ah.
Yeah, everybody was.
Yeah, everybody was
excited.
pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
Like, you were yelling at me, and I remember laying on the ground, like, after 30 seconds of laying there, and go, get up, you have to get more to do. And I'm like, no, I don't. I'm done.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that's also probably my favorite memory of the open.
I mean, because the first year, the only goal was to make regionals. regionals.
Yeah.
That's all that mattered.
Yeah.
I mean, how I did at regionals was irrelevant.
Yeah. Well, it's just like the first goals.
It wasn't irrelevant. It wasn't irrelevant.
Yeah.
That was the first goal.
Yeah.
Like you can't set regional goals unless you get there.
Yeah.
So like
first goals, regionals.
yeah. So it was like
games.
every open workout was just the Super Bowl. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it here because part one, we're talking about kind of how we first met, and then how Jared first started CrossFit. And then part two is we're either gonna go backwards or forwards. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out when we get there. But
Let's not go backwards.
we are gonna eventually go backwards.
No. This
Yeah,
isn't
we are
like
gonna
a
go
life
backwards.
story. Of
No, we
Jared.
are gonna go backwards.
No.
No, we're going backwards. Okay. So again, that's just kind of going through how me and my fiance first met, and then how he first decided he was gonna get into CrossFit. Next time he's on here, we're either gonna go forward or backwards. Talk about his past a little bit, maybe talk about up into the CrossFit games and beyond. But that's all we got for today. So you ready?
Yeah, we'll chat more next time. Thanks for having me
You
on
ready?
to your YouTubes.
Are you ready?
You want me to do that?
Yeah.
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 You
Three.
do it.
No, let's both do it together.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go. Bye!
Bye.
Also like this. What kind of
Oh
sit?
gosh.
You can face the camera and I'll sit kind of facing you like
I'll
this.
put a leg up. Oh. What can I
Maybe
do?
don't do that.
What can I do you
You
for?
look real uncomfortable.
What can I do you for, big fella?
Maybe you should do a little bit more wrong one.
I do wrong. Friday.
Insert footage here. Okay, go ahead.
Did you actually insert it, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm gonna insert the footage.
you-
But I'm gonna say insert footage here, and then I'm gonna insert.
Well, you have to show my Instagram, I guess, but.
You just send me the fucking video, and then I'll
No,
insert.
you'll send it. You'll find it.
No, I need it though. I'm gonna need the actual video.
You're
so I can put
gonna
it-
show us. Are you on your YouTube?
What? Yeah, I'm gonna put the video on the YouTube.
No, I'm saying, are you gonna show this right now? Us.
Maybe, then maybe people are